Afternoon. Sorry about that. Had a couple of things came up right at the last minute, so my fault. Yeah. Yeah, well, look, that's always tough. You know, we've already had to make a couple of tough decisions. And, you know, these guys that are out here, you know, working their rear off and giving everything they've got, man, you're always mindful of that and you appreciate that, but it's a hard business, you know. But I think everything from our standpoint is how do we get ourselves twofold. Number one, ready for San Francisco, and then also continue to evaluate who's going to be on this roster, who we think can make this roster and help us win. So I think that's the focus this week.
Dan, I want to go back to the preseason game for a minute. There's some criticism out there about the clock management at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, just your perception. You talk about wanting to win, and winning is always important, but you mentioned you're balancing that versus evaluating your guys' situation at the end of the game. So how was your approach at the end of the game there with the clock management different maybe than how you handled it in the regular season?
Yeah, I mean that was like, to me that was about getting Blau a couple of throws or see if we can score a touchdown in tight red. Ordinarily we would have milked those timeouts out of our opponent, but you know, it was kind of one of those. That was my first inclination. Then I was like, hey man, you know, Blau's going pretty good here. We're moving the ball a little bit. Let's see if maybe we can find a way to get in the end zone or get some throws. You know, certainly you'd rather not, you know, get a throw to where it goes out of bounds, even if you are trying to be more aggressive. But that's on me. That's not them. And I'm trying to get a look on these guys, all of us, you know. And then, you know, the benefit is you don't get it, then your defense is in a 2-minute, which is what happened at the end. And you get another look at those guys under a high-stress situation, some of those young players. So it's tough because you want to win the game, but you also are trying to evaluate these guys under certain circumstances. And so that's really what the focus was, I guess, if you will.
Is there anything to you guys getting your operation down as a coaching staff that needs to be practiced, or are you pretty confident with how?
No, those things, we do those in the walkthroughs, and then like we'll be amping a lot of that stuff up over the next couple of weeks. We'll have things that go up. We're doing like a 4-minute, 2-minute today, a couple of different segments. So yeah, that it is important, but that was one of those. The first thing I said over the headset is like, ordinarily we would milk these timeouts, but let's throw it. So, yeah.
Now, Dan, when you go back and look at the film, what happened on the touchdown there from the Bills with Singletary going out and getting the touchdown there?
I'm sorry, which one?
Well, the Bills touchdown to the running back Singletary. What did you see there when you went back and looked at the film?
You talking about from their guy?
Yeah.
Which one? You talking about the first? Give me the time. I'm sitting here thinking about the whole game for a minute.
First quarter, I believe. Running back.
The roll pass.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The roll pass where he goes at. Look, it was a busted coverage, is what happened there, and look, that was a player that knows better. And he's normally on it, and he missed it. And AG talks about that all the time. And we all do. It's like, man, you have one breakdown, and those things happen. And that's what you don't. If you're going to give up a big play, not a big play, but if you're going to give up a touchdown, make them earn it. Make the opponent have to earn it all the way down. You don't want something off of an MA missed assignment to where they benefit from it. You know, make them go the long, hard way.
Yeah, on Tamai, I know he was a guy that got some love from you guys in the spring, just the way he changed his body, what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
How has he progressed, I guess, this summer? What have you seen from him?
Yeah, look, he's a smart guy. He works at it. He puts everything out that he has into it, and I think that it's, I think there's certain things that he does well. He's really a hammer, and particularly I think he's probably more of a first, second down inside linebacker, and so there's things that he can do, and I think it's up to us to put him in the best situation to have success too, so it's twofold. But he does everything you ask him to do, and he gives everything he's got.
Question for you, Sean Hamilton. I know he's a guy that you brought up a couple times. In terms of what he can do on special teams, how valuable is that to him?
Yeah, it is, because he's been playing pretty good football, and so and there's things we tried to get a few more looks on special teams. It didn't work out as like we wanted. We wanted a little bit more, but certainly he's a guy that since spring we've had our eye on. We really like him a lot.
What do you like best about Penang Sewell right now, and where do you see him having to make strides? I mean, obviously he's a rookie.
Yeah, man, there's a number of things. I've mentioned this before, but I think just his ability to adjust, it really shows up. The way he's grown, you know, there's things that he gets beat on the day before that, man, it's not happening the next day or the next rep. And, you know, just to be able to go out there and face a new opponent like the other day, you know, he didn't throw his hands like he'd been, and, you know, and then you see him the next rep and he does it. And so I just think he's a really good athlete. He's got the right mindset. Like, he's all business. He's aggressive. But he's also able to adapt quickly, especially for a rookie. I mean, I think that's he's able to, because he has the talent and the want to and the knowledge and to work at it and everything, he's able to adjust pretty quickly, which is good. That's a good thing.
As prepared as you were for the preseason opener, it's been a while since you were the head coach in a game like that. Any quirks or anything that surprised you that you had to jot down afterwards about being a head coach back in the game?
You know what? Not really. I mean, it was there was so much of it that was about, you know, just getting a look at these guys. And there was a number of times where, you know, I'm in it, but I tried to force myself out of the moment a little bit just to watch the player. You know, there was a couple times I just watched Julian. You know, I'm just going to do nothing, watch him this play. I watch Sewell. You know, you watch Goff or Boyle. You know, I watch Barnes. And so you don't always do, you know, you're not able to do that in a normal game, but knowing it was preseason, man, just to really, with your own eyes, watch this player for the full rep, see what they're doing, you know, that was pretty cool. That wasn't quirky, but that's probably something a little bit different. But there was nothing that was for me. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't, I don't know, you know. I took it for what it was, which is about evaluation of these players and trying to build the best roster.
Player we asked you about a little more than a week ago before Pat's, Logan Stenberg.
Yep.
You said, you know, you really need to see him grow in those moments. We were watching him out here at pass rush rep down by the media bleacher. He put Trey on the ground, which is no easy feat.
Mm-hmm.
Then it seemed like he had pretty good preseason games. So I was wondering what your impressions of Stenberg have been since the pads have come on.
Yeah, well, I think he was listening, I guess, to this. Because since then, he's, I would say, over the last probably 3 practices and then continued into the game, it feels like he's starting to kind of turn the corner a little bit. Yeah, he's done some good things, you know. He had a couple of fundamental issues in the game, but overall, you feel like, okay, he this last week he's began to grow a little bit, so it's encouraging. I mean, that's what we need from him, and he is still young, he's still learning, but man, to feel like you're starting to see the improvement is encouraging.
Dan, just Jamal Williams had a couple of first down runs on 3rd and 1s. What does that say, or what does that speak to as far as tone setting, as far as those short yard, tough runs for the offensive line and for him?
I think it says a lot. You know, to know that you have a guy that if it's anywhere in that range, he's going to find a way to puncture the line of scrimmage and get you a first down. Not only does that give you confidence as a play caller and a head coach, it gives the offensive line a lot of confidence. And sometimes those guys subconsciously, it happens and they need that a little bit. But to know that, hey, man, as long as I can get on this guy at all and I can cover him whatsoever and just hold on here a little bit, Jamal will find a way to get this first down. I do think I think you do gain a lot of confidence as an offense, and it certainly would make you much more likely or confident about going on at 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, to know a guy's going to be able to find a way to do it.
Just a couple housekeeping things here. Swift or Enrique, are they practicing today?
They're not going to practice today. So Swift, we're planning on trying to get back out here hopefully tomorrow on a limited basis. And then who was the other one? I'm sorry. Yeah, Levi, he'll be out here. He'll be limited, but he'll have Indy and a couple of team reps. And then and then we'll start to progress him. So hopefully then tomorrow he gets a little bit more, and we're on the up and up. So this was kind of the week we were waiting on Levi to start going here. Everything checked out, and so it's time to get him his work. And there again, Swift hopefully is feeling better tomorrow, and we can begin to progress him into practice.
At the start of this, you said made a couple decisions already. You made more than the Alex Brown process.
No, that was it. It's just there's one that we were talking. That's why I was late. We were talking about that we haven't done yet. But obviously, those talks are already in the works between Brad and myself. It's beginning. You start trying to think a million different ways on what you're going to do. Yes, sir. Jim.
Hi, Dan. I know that you use the tape from Friday's games and evaluation tool for yourself to try to find the right guys for this team. But to what extent do you sit down with them and use it as a teaching moment to say, hey, do this, don't do that? Do they get all eyes on it with you? How did that process go?
Yeah, you'll break some of those up. There'll be some things that pop up that throughout this week I will show. I let the coordinators handle that this week, as it pertained to each side of the ball. But when there's things that pop up that we need to see as a team, they could be good plays, bad plays, negative plays, game situation. I'm going to start putting those into my team meeting to start everything. It's been hard to do as much as you want to do to this point because you're trying to get everything in schematically. You're trying to watch a practice tape. But yeah, those things they'll be noted, so yeah, we'll start incorporating those.
And just one quick little follow-up, I apologize. I know that you said last week you weren't game planning specifically for the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start to do that a little more for Pittsburgh because there are only 3 preseason games?
We will. We'll begin to. Yes, we will. We'll game plan more than we did versus Buffalo. It won't be a full-out game plan, but they'll have enough in their toolbox to go to work. And then certainly when we get ready for the Colts next week, there'll be a little bit more than there was this week.
Practices this week, just regular season schedule type deal?
Yeah, it'll be. It's kind of altered. We're going to end up. We'll have more of these kind of afternoon practices, so it's beginning to evolve into an in-season schedule somewhat. But we'll still have kind of the later nights behind it. But we'll go more on this mode of where we meet in the morning, practice in the afternoon, so they begin to go that way. But as far as just the nature of where we're at, we're still in camp, and we're still going to get our work in.
Just one thing about your kicker, the work that Thomas gets, can you restore a little bit of confidence going through the kicker?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's a good thing to see him get in there, and even though they weren't very long, to know that he got in there and nailed those. Certainly, we'd like to put him under a little more stress as we get closer here, whether it's in practice or games. But that's encouraging. It was good to see. Okay, thank you.